November 7th, as you can see, the fuckery is a lot. The fuckery is a lot. So let's just get into it. Okay. Now we had the full moon in Taurus on the 6th, just after midnight. Okay. So we're at the end of that. The moon will go void with a sextile to Neptune. So we're integrating. So we're healing. So we are locking some shit in. Okay. Right. Now, what did the moon reveal to you? That is what this whole first part of the overnight space is about. What did the full moon in Taurus reveal to you about being present, about worth, about the physicality of the world and where you hold values? Okay. So 12:13 a.m. This is the moon really asking you about nurturing in a lot of ways, and really asking you to kind of understand where you're deserving of it, where you may not be getting it, where your strengths are, where you can feel those when you're being nurtured. There is really a bit of a restless energy around it, right? Like trying to find where we can move forward, still feeling safe and nurtured and secure. Okay. Then something within, and this is now Venus at 29 degrees. Okay. So we've got a lot of 29-degree shit going on, which brings a pressure. Okay. And so this is that, what did that full moon reveal to you about being present in your relationships? What did that full moon reveal to you about what you value within relationships? Okay. Where's the balance? Where's the value in having it balanced? Where's the cause and effect? Right now, this is really something needing to be understood, but it could be very difficult to understand because you've got this moment of crisis. We've got Taurus and Libra both ruled by Venus, right? So they're both kind of looking for balance, and something kind of needs to be decided, but it's really difficult to really lock in on what that thing is, right? So thank fuck we're in Melbourne, we're asleep. Okay. Now the moon's going to sextile Neptune after that. This is big energy. Look, I'm going to say, if you are someone who has some kind, and I'm going to say curse, so let's not get upset about the word curse. If you are someone who has a financial abundance kind of curse, or a family history with it, or you've got, you just can't seem to fucking get a break, this is a really good energy for letting go of mentalities of lack. Okay, 1:50 a.m. letting go of mentalities of lack. And you can do that at any point under that Taurus full moon. But because we're ending here, that's where I think you will get a lot out of it, especially if you are a 29 degrees Pisces person, okay? Or you've got your second house is in Pisces, or, Taurus in the 10th house, those sorts of things. This is a really great time to be letting go of the mentality around lack when it comes to financial abundance. Okay. Now, I would also probably add in a willingness to kind of work to get the reward. Yeah. Okay. So then 2:10 a.m. And if you're asleep during this, fucking good luck. Yeah. Mars making a sextile aspect to Pluto. Mars only at 1 degree of Sagittarius, right? Sagittarius in Mars is fiery as fuck anyway. And 1 degree is an Aries degree. So we start in shit, right? Now, this is where Mars in Sagittarius is meeting up with Pluto in Aquarius, now forward motion after it's retrograde. And they're both ready to start some shit. Let's go on a fucking journey here. Let's really be conscious about the action that we're taking forward. Where am I going? What is the plan? Is it for me? What is for me? What am I learning? Am I staying open, right? Because one of the Sagittarius lessons is staying open to learning new things. Okay, then we get this conjunction to Uranus, which can only be helpful. Although with the Gemini moon, mental health warning, okay? Mental health fuckery abounds when the moon is in Gemini, because Uranus is in Gemini at 0 degrees retrograding, right? So we're seeing things in a completely different fucking perspective whenever we get these aspects. So this conjunction is being able to see your emotions in a completely different fucking perspective, all right? And then that's when we get this next aspect, again with the 29-degree Venus, okay? But this time with the Neptune. So this is either Venus being worth or Venus being relationship, okay? And this is like where something needs a decision made, right? But you might not be able to make a full decision. But we need to be looking at this as what you're leaving behind, right? So this to me reads very much like needing to start this new adventure by seeing it in a completely different perspective. And because of that, you're going to have to align your current relationships to the new version of you that's letting go of these past mentalities, right? Now, when we get to this 441 moon trine Pluto, again, good fucking luck being asleep. Anyone who's asleep at this time is just, you're off the chain if you can sleep during this. I mean, without assistance. Okay, so this fucking trine to Pluto, 1 degree, moon in Gemini, Pluto in Aquarius at 1 degree, and then very closely followed by that opposition to Mars. Like, so this Gemini moon is going to be trining Pluto and opposing Mars at the same fucking time, and almost an exact conjunction with Uranus. Okay, so the ability to be able to see where you want to go from a completely different fucking perspective is huge here. Okay, now remembering that a Mars in Sagittarius can be really fucking righteous, that it knows where it's going. I do have a Mars in Sagittarius myself. So it is a difficult energy to work with sometimes when you need to see something from a different perspective, or you need to stop for a minute and try and collect information about something that you feel is the right way to go. Okay, and that's where this energy is really asking you to like make sure that you're bringing with you like the full version of yourself, right? Pluto at 1 degree of Aquarius going forward motion is like, let's fucking start this adventure where your shadow side, the side of you that you don't show other people, is starting to be seen. Bring that out. Be curious about how it's going to come on this adventure. Okay, now this tug of war between the moon and Mars is because Gemini and Sagittarius are opposing energies, right? Gemini is an information gatherer and Sagittarius is a truth seeker. And the lessons of both is that Gemini needs to take the time to find the truth in what its information is, and Sagittarius needs to find the information to prove its truth, right? So this is where we start seeing this situation of like, I want to move, but is it the right way to go? Well, I know it's the right way to go, but how do I prove that? Is that kind of energy, right? Now, this is where we see like this is an interesting little dynamic here, because at 7:27 a.m. the sun at 14 degrees of Scorpio meets with Neptune at 29 degrees of Pisces, and it says, hey, like where you've been like repetitively repeating the same fucking lessons, right? Where you've been repetitive or compulsive or obsessive, you need to make a fucking decision here, right? And so that's calling back to that moon opposition Mars. Like, where is the truth in my information, and where is the information to back up my truth? And so here we go. 14 degrees of Scorpio is the Taurus degree of Scorpio. So that's really like something coming to the surface, but it can be a little bit fucking stubborn and possessive about what it thinks it knows, right? And so what it thinks it knows is going to be related to an ancestral or generational pattern that you can just fucking let go of. And that is what you are letting go of in order to move forward. But this brings stress, right? It's like stress. It's forcing you to let go by using stress. Okay. And then because of that, right? And then Venus going to enter fucking Scorpio. So Venus enters Scorpio at 9:39 a.m. And then this is the first aspect that it makes, right? It meets up with that Uranus retrograding at 0 degrees of Gemini. And this is some fucking haze here, right? Like this is some truth. Like, you know that there's truth that needs to be fucking seen in a relationship dynamic, like in a one-on-one relationship, whether it be family, work, personal, whatever, right? There is something that needs to be seen in a different perspective because there is truth that needs to be fucking seen, right? Now that truth is unlikely to come out until we start kind of rolling through this Mercury retrograde, but we are still in the pre-shadow right now. And so like there's some kind of like uneasiness that's going to start coming through in a one-on-one relationship that like has a secret, and we're getting this help to be able to see it in a different perspective. Okay, now 11:57, you have to let go of the old way you saw it in order to be able to see it from the new way. That's going to have a fucking clash 12:19 p.m. with your inner mentality around it, right? With the analytical way that you've looked at it from the past, right? You need to look at it from a new way, a new analytical way. And that's why we're getting Mercury opposing the way that you used to think about it at the Virgo degree. So we've got the moon in Gemini. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Yes, okay? And Mercury's in Sagittarius. So this whole energy system is like rolling over itself, okay? And there is a component of it that relates back to your family because Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter's in Cancer. Okay, so there's a component of it that involves your security, right? And being analytical and really noticing that the way that you've thought about it before is now not the way to think about it. And we need to be more open, right? Then we move into this 2:12 p.m., which is the quintile aspect, which really does ask us to organize these thoughts, right? Organize it and look at it through this idea of cause and effect, the I am and the you are, right? So I'm looking at it through this new window, okay? And then 4:03 Jupiter trine Lilith. Are you fucking kidding me? Thank you. Thank the universe for this one because this is very nice, okay? This is quite magical. Witches, okay, quite magical. This is where we get the expansion of family, right? And it is meeting up. Like, so the expansion of family can mean a lot of things, right? It means that it wants you to see things from a longer period of time. It wants you to see your family dynamics growing up from a different like viewpoint, right? From a bigger viewpoint, from how it might still be affecting your life, right? Now, Lilith at 25 degrees of Scorpio is really owning the part of it that it rejects. It's really owning its Scorpio components, right? Which for most people is somewhat creative or sexual energy, right? And so this is for anyone who has been dealing with like the repression of their creative or sexual energy. This aspect, like if you grew up in a family that was like very tight on the way that you showed those components of yourself, then this aspect is helping you really be able to see how that has affected your current everyday. Because that 424 semi-square to Chiron, mate, that one is saying something needs to be fucking transformed because your authentic self is hidden under the depths of guilt and shame that you don't need to fucking carry anymore, right? And then you need to bring some discipline to the table, semi-square to Jupiter at 6:15 p.m. in order to try and get some kind of grip on like that outworn mentality that needs to be let go of, right? And we still might not be able to let it go just yet, but like it's starting to bubble to the surface of something that needs to be let go. And then this quintile aspect to Neptune, again, it's saying like, put something in fucking order here. Like how many times, like be curious about how many times you fucking bottled up your authentic energy, your fucking weird take on something, how you saw the world, that you just like packed that up and put it away because your family told you, or growing up you were made to feel like that's too fucking weird and strange. Don't be that person, right? And then we get 9:57 p.m. We get a semi-square to the node, but this is Pluto, and this is the node at 16 degrees. So this to me is really reading like fucking let go of the family bullshit, right? 29 degrees Pisces, let it go. 15 years, 160 years worth of fucking programming. Let that shit go because it's wasting your fucking energy, right? Like it's not worth your energy. Like go towards the discomfort of having to nurture yourself. That is better than holding on to the nurturing that you got as a child that also came with all of these fucking rules, right? Massive fucking day, huge day, okay? Huge. Like I had to like zoom out to be able to put that whole thing on there. And the 8th is not less of a day because on the 8th, the Uranus retrograde is going to move back into Taurus at 29 degrees and it's going to add some more intensity, okay? So if you want me to help you with your chart and how these energies are affecting you, please come and book an appointment. I'd love to help you out, okay? You can find all of the details of my appointments, both video call and pre-recorded ones, on my website. Otherwise, jump in my DMs if it's all just a bit confusing, okay?